I am very excited and honored to be able to share my story with you today. For so many years, I felt so embarrassed to even talk about my own story, my own struggle with postpartum depression and anxiety. And it took me years to feel comfortable sharing it with the entire world. And I'm actually proud of the transformation that I've gone through. So it all starts back in 2011. This is when I moved to San Diego, California from Hungary, where I was born and raised. I met my husband who lived here, so I moved to him. My friends and family stayed in Hungary. They are still there up to this day. My mom, who I had an amazing relationship with, unfortunately passed away back in 2006. So when in 2012 my son was born, I felt incredibly lonely, not having my mom not just by my side, but not even a phone call away. I was literally shocked after my son was born and we went home from the hospital. I was clueless, no matter the classes, no matter how many Lamaze classes I took. I was shocked, I was clueless, I had no help, not even from my husband's family side, no help whatsoever, no friends. I was living in a brand new country that has a very different culture from the country where I was originally from. So adding everything up, including sleep deprivation, arguments and fights with my husband about him working all the time, not helping me at home. I was thinking back now, I was really at a high risk for developing postpartum depression and anxiety. And for so many months, in fact more than a year, I was denying it. I didn't want to recognize it. I didn't even know actually what to recognize. I didn't even know what I had. All I knew that I was not feeling really excited about motherhood. I felt guilty and ashamed about that. I took care of my son. It was like a to-do list, but I didn't really feel the connection. I didn't enjoy playing with him. In fact, often I didn't play with him. Sometimes I just stayed at home for almost a week without even leaving the house. I knew I loved my son, but I didn't feel it. I think that would be the perfect description of my postpartum depression and anxiety, what that felt like. Fortunately, I was enrolled into this program, which is called Nurse and Family Program, and a nurse would come to see me every other week, and she would regularly make me fill out the Edinburgh Postpartum Depression Scale, but I lied. Every single time I filled it out, I lied. And after 12 months, after a year, when I could not live like that anymore, I couldn't take it anymore, I had no desire really to live like that anymore, somehow, in some way, I picked up the phone and I called the nurse who connected me to PSI. I called PSI, they helped me find a therapist who was specialized in maternal mental health in my area. And that's when finally, after a year, I felt seen, I felt heard. And throughout that process with the therapist, I somehow figured out how to turn that pain that I was experiencing into my purpose. It wasn't that clear at the time, but it made sense after all. So I signed up to be a volunteer for PSI Helpline. I decided to go back to school and become a therapist to help other parents and moms who are struggling with the same. And I'm so excited that just a few weeks ago, I passed also the perinatal mental health certification. I'm a licensed therapist now, so it's kind of like a full circle moment. And what I would really tell you as a new mom who's struggling at home alone, feeling lonely, feeling like you're not enjoying motherhood, that it's okay to feel that way, and yet there's nothing wrong with you. There's millions of moms out there who are feeling the same thing, and you do not have to suffer alone in silence. There is great help, great therapists, great support groups. Please do not be ashamed and scared from reaching out and get help. PSI will help you. They have the right help that can make you feel like yourself again and find your new self, your new identity in motherhood. So trust yourself. Everything's gonna be well.